G'day YouTubers, thank you for joining me once again. Spanish Germ 669 aka Adam. I'm going to be doing another review of a film I watched earlier this afternoon. This is the second review I'm doing in the series. My first one being that of Norwegian psychological horror movie Next Door. So I hope you all enjoyed that and proved useful. And hopefully this one is even more enjoyable and useful. So I'll get straight into it. It's the 2009 zombie French film The Horde. Now this hasn't been released in the UK, well it won't be released until the 20th of September. And I usually get my films from Amazon UK because they're a lot cheaper than here in Australia. But I didn't want to have to wait that long, especially because, it was for sale in my local store. And I stumbled across it. I saw it, $30 price tag on it, so I was a bit reluctant at first, but being the huge French horror film fan that I am, I had to buy it. So kind of thought maybe it won't meet my expectations and it was money badly spent. But I had my hopes that it would live up to the expectation, and I can thankfully say it exceeded my expectations. Now, it's a film made in 2009, directed by Yannick Dahan and Benjamin Rocker, so it's a combined effort. It tells the story. Well, it starts off with a group of corrupt police officers. They're mourning the death of a fellow friend and police officer who was murdered by a group of ruthless gangsters. So they're at this murdered comrade's funeral and they've come up with a plan that they will get revenge for his fallen comrade, and they're going to storm the abandoned tower block that the gang is hiding out in, and they're going to brutally murder each and every one of the gang in retaliation for their friend's execution. So what starts off as a smooth sort of plan, it quickly turns pear-shaped and they find themselves at the mercy of this ruthless gang. And so when the cops think that things can't get any worse, things do get worse. The whole tower block has been overrun by a horde of bloodthirsty, cannibalistic creatures. Now, these are zombies, but I say cannibalistic creatures because they kind of reminded me more of the infected in 28 Days Later. So it had the same sort of sound to them, the growling and the hissing and all that kind of stuff. And it really reminded me also of the Dawn of the Dead remake, in that the zombies in this film can run and yeah, very vicious. So yeah, quickly the cops and the gangsters realise that they have to work together in order to survive the much bigger enemy that has posed a problem for them. Yeah, as I said, exceeded my expectations. This is a lot better than I thought it would be. I'm not a huge fan of zombie horror because there's been, quite a few shitty zombie horror movies. Um, but yeah, I'm not saying this is as good as Dawn of the Dead remake, but it's up there. A lot of fun, brutal, dark, just a lot of blood, as you would expect from a French horror film. Um, One criticism, maybe not enough guts and brains shown. I like to see zombies capture their prey and rip their guts out and all that kind of stuff, but I'm a sick person, so maybe others don't want to see that kind of stuff, but I do, especially in a zombie film. Having said that, the absence of guts and brains makes up for it with just the amount of blood. Just so much blood. There's a memorable face bashing scene in it. I really thought that was cool. There's a character in this who's an old fat guy who's very knowledgeable on weapons, and he helps them, and he turns out to be an insane, just completely insane, and the funniest character in the movie. He made me laugh a lot. The cops, well, they're just as bad as the gang in that they are very cold in what they do. They There's a issue of trust, like the gang members working with the cops. while they're fighting the zombies, they still don't trust each other, as you would expect. So there's a little bit of an issue between trust between the gang and the cops. Although they're on the same they're on the same team fighting against the zombies, there's still tension between cops and gangsters. But yeah, a few minor issues in the directing, but that was alright. No movie's perfect, all are going to have their flaws. So the positives far outweigh the negatives for this film. It's very dark. There's not a lot of colour. Very depressing end of the world feel, as you would expect. The whole film is based, or majority of the film is based inside the tower block. Now it's abandoned and it's crumbling and it's really old and really grotty. There's blood stains everywhere because obviously people have been torn to pieces. And so yeah, it's a really, really good movie. I was expecting something good, and that's exactly what I got. If you're a fan of the zombie type of horror, then this is a must. You have to pick this one up. It's funny, it's brutal, and it is very, very fast. Like the pacing of the movie is just insane. It's just lots of shooting, lots of zombies getting the shit beaten out of them. I've never seen zombies in a film get punished the way they do in this film. In the end, you have to start feeling sorry for the zombies because they're just getting their brains absolutely smashed out. There's a lot of hand-to-hand combat with the zombies, so yeah, a lot of punching, headbutting, and yeah, there's a scene where a woman, one of the female police officers, beats the shit out of this female zombie, and you can just feel each and every one of those blows that she inflicts on the zombie. You can feel yourself. It's just really, really good, fun violence. It's the type of film that you leave your brain at the door for. You don't have to think about it. It's not shocking like Inside. So, the violence in this is just, really fun, gross sort of violence. Some of it's CGI'd, but that doesn't take away the brutality of the film. There is an uncut version that only exists in Germany for now, but I have been told that the uncut version is basically just an extended cut of a dialogue scene. So you miss none of the gore, and you don't miss anything good in this version. So it's basically just an extended version, the uncut version. So it's just that the scene at the start at the funeral is just a bit longer. So if anything, this version's better because you get to the action a lot quicker. So yeah, this is French horror film The Horde. One of the best zombie films I've seen. Really glad I bought it, and I highly recommend it for all you horror fans out there who like your your zombie horror films. And so yeah, that's all I've got to say on it. Really happy with it. Loved it. Highly recommended. Alright guys, that's it. I hope this review was enjoyable for you all, and I'll see you next time. Bye.